Hello everyone, welcome to this official Getting Started tutorial series. If you just unbox your scanner, install the software, and get everything connected, there's probably only one thing on your mind right now. How do I get through my very first scan? That's exactly what this series is here to answer. We're not going to dive into how to fine-tune every parameter, and we're not covering advanced scanning techniques. We're focusing on one thing only, the steps you absolutely have to complete to go from creating a new project to exporting a usable 3D model. So let's begin with episode 1, your first single project scan. Step 1. Create a new project. After successfully connecting the device, create a new project, give it a name, choose where to save it, and you're set. Step 2. Project settings. After creating the project, you'll land in project settings. In this step, you will need to make some decisions. First is the scan mode. In the software, you select this right after creating your project. On all-in-one devices like Vega and Rachel, you switch modes on the device itself. After powering on, you can just tap the mode selector at the top of the screen. Next is alignment method. This tells the software what to use to line up each frame of data, features, texture, or markers. Which one you pick depends a lot on what your pod looks like, and we'll get into that in the advanced tutorial. Then there's resolution. Think of it simply as how fine your data is. The smaller the value, the finer the detail, and the larger the dataset. And finally, texture. If you need a model with color, make sure you check this one before you start. Once these are set, you're ready to scan. Step 3. Adjust brightness and start scanning. Before adjusting brightness, ensure the scanning distance is at the correct range. Before you hit scan, open the camera view and adjust your brightness. The objective is to adjust brightness until a little reddish appearance is observed on the workpiece in the camera window. Once that's dialed in, you can hit start. 2 things worth knowing while you're scanning. First, you can adjust brightness at any time. Different areas of a part reflect differently. So if one face comes out too dark halfway through, just adjust it on the fly. No need to stop. Second, you can pause at any time. When paused, you can open up additional scan settings, and you can edit the data you've already captured. Here's something I'd strongly recommend. Turn on the data quality indicator before you start scanning. With it on, the model uses color to tell you whether you've captured enough. Depending on the product model, yellow or red indicates that data for that area is still insufficient, while blue or green indicates that the area is fully covered. So your task is actually quite simple. Turn the yellow areas blue or the red areas green. For those new to scanning, this is the most straightforward way to tell whether the scan is actually complete. The one thing to keep in mind, if you want to see texture in real time while scanning, you'll need to turn this feature off. The two can be displayed at the same time. Step 4. Point cloud generation. Before generating the point cloud, we recommend to edit the captured data first. First, adjust the view to a suitable angle. The lasso tool is generally recommended for selecting unwanted data. If you prefer a more regular selection boundary, the polygon selection tool can be used instead. The typical workflow is to select and delete the unwanted data first. After removing most of the unwanted data, some isolated stray data may remain. In that case, select the desired data first, and then click the Connect Domain function, followed by Invert to clear the extra noise. Once the data is clean, you can proceed to generate the point cloud. Please be noted that the data editing can also be performed after point cloud generation, but editing beforehand is the recommended practice for better efficiency. Step 5. Mesh the final model. Clicking Mesh brings you into the parameter settings, and the key choice here is the meshing type. You've got 3 options. Watertight, best for objects that are close to begin with. The software looks at the geometry around any holes in your existing model, works out what that area most likely should have looked like, and fills in every gap, giving you a full sealed model. Unwatertight. No extra hole filling calculation at all. What you scan is what you get. The mesh is generated strictly from your scan data. Semi-watertight, somewhere in between. Below these three options, there are also some options for optimizing the mesh. If you don't have any special requirements, just go with the recommended settings and generate. This is the easiest option. Step 6. Export and measurement. For the export, we support 5 formats: ASC, OBJ, STL, 3MF, and PLY. If you'd rather check dimensions right here in our software, measurement is supported as well. We support point-to-point distance, surface area of a selected region, volume for fully closed objects, and on all-in-one devices, you also get bounding box measurement. The software also includes a set of basic coordinate alignment tools. And that's the complete single project workflow. 6 steps in total. Once you've been through the process a single time, you'll find it's very straightforward to repeat. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.